Was it execution? Was it the manner of which we do things? I mean, schematically wise, there's some things that I would definitely not do again. So it's all encompassing. You look at it and you be very forthright with the guys, and you move on. So.
What did you see on the tape, Tony?
Again, all around, right? I mean, the guys were executing, but schematically there are some things that I did not like that was completely stupid. And then there's just again the manner of which you do things, And there's always calls that you want back and everything, but at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you instill that confidence and have the guys running around with their hair on fire. And I didn't do a good enough job of that last week, so.
At this point, do you think a lot of the struggle is the mental side of things?
That's great. I mean, I think that is just coaching in general. That if anybody had the correct answer, you would have teams that just never lose. Period. Right? Just that's it. But I think it's about the consistency. And when you do well, you don't get too high. And then when you don't do as well, you're able to focus in on the things that make you good, and then really bounce back from those things. So that's the thing. That would be the mark of a good team, right? Is how well you bounce back, how well you're able to turn the page, whether good or bad performance, and then move on and get ready for another challenge. So.
Do you try to leave emotion out of it when you're bouncing back, or do you want to try to kind of lean into that as you?
No, I mean it's a combination of everything, right? I mean there's X's and O's, there's execution, there's play calls and situations, right? Then there's the emotional side, because if you can get up and give a speech, right? Or you can get up in front of people and give a speech and be dynamic. I mean, there's different ways of doing things, So I don't think you can take the emotion completely out of it, but at the end of the day, like, I have to make sure that those guys are, ready to and charged up to take the field. Not only to do their job, because these guys do everything you ask them to do. I mean, these dudes, man, like, they'll run through a wall like these. That's why it really bugs me, because it's me. You know what I mean? So again, you just gotta keep on finding different ways to make sure that they're playing with their hair on fire.
56-7. Is there concern on your part as the leader of the defense that confidence would wane this week a little bit?
No, not based off of today. Again, you just sit back and you listen to coach and you hear the message, and I that's what I do. Like, I sit down and I listen to coach like I'm a player, and that's one of the truly great things about him is, like, hey, there's a lot of ways you can go, but at the end of the day, you have another high-powered offense, one of the best teams in the entire country. And this is like life. We're teaching life lessons. You're not always going to get the job you want. You're always not going to write the article you want to get. That's not always going to happen, but it's how you respond from it and how you learn from it. So this is one of those examples, and, it's our job to make sure that we get the guys going. So.
Now, based off today, are you talking about what Rule told the team or practice? Or
No, they went out there and they practiced their ass off, like, period. If you went out there, you would have been like, holy cow. So, again, these guys, they do what you ask them to do. So it's just I got to direct the ship the right way.
Matt mentioned it wasn't surging on Deshaun this week. How do you feel just about your secondary? And obviously Tommy got his feet under him last week. How he is coming along after that?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all every day is an evaluation for those guys. You know what I mean? All the flexibility you have, or maybe you don't have. So you're looking at combinations of guys going in there. Great chance for the young guys to step up. I mean, Braylon Prude, Rio, you got Larry Tarver, you got guys who've been kind of just Rex Guthrie, who have been just steadily getting better and better and better, especially going against our offense. They're just getting better and better, and so now an opportunity presents itself to rise up and see if they want to take it. So we'll see.
Clyde been able to get back to full speed where he could be an option?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. He was out there running around looking good. There's healthy, and then there's, like, you have your wits about you, your game speed. And this whole time he's been getting his strength back and stuff, but most importantly, he's been getting his game speed feel back. So it's good to see him run around today.
Coach Rule mentioned the 50-50 balls were giving you guys some problems. How do you improve that area? Is the pass rush got to be there quicker? I mean, is there a way to win those 50-50 balls in better situations?
Yeah, no, everything, right? It's calls, don't put them out there so much in 50-50. It's working the technique. It's trusting the guys to go do it. it's showing them in individuals, you know what I mean? And then the technical side of it is like, you know, hey, in the very beginning, you know, your eyes, your stance, are you on the right leverage? Are you doing those things right? So you're breaking it down to every little aspect to help them feel confident next time they go out there.
Tony, in what ways does the opponent this week, clearly one of the more talented teams in college football, require you guys to be fully focused and have moved on from whatever it was that happened Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, not just this because it's this team, but just when you compete, period. You know what I mean? Like you have to take it all back down to zero and then just rev it back up. I mean, and it just so happens that, you know, you got a really good team, but same thing like last week. If you don't know what to do and how to do things, then it doesn't matter who you play. Like you're not going to play well. So we just got to make sure that, again, it always comes back to us being at zero and just building ourselves back up to that point where you're on the edge and you can just go play.
In what ways does Ohio State really stress you? Maybe stress you more than what you've seen this year?
Yeah, two ways. That one, athletically wise, they got some phenomenal athletes, right? I mean, the two backs are some of the best backs in the country. The really all three wide receivers, just phenomenal. Make one-handed catches. You know, they're physical specimens. So your matchups one-on-one athletically wise, but then also like schematically, they do a lot. I mean, they're always motioning, shifting, trading. They try to get numbers advantages out on the perimeter. They'll put 5 guys to a side. You know what I mean? They'll change pictures on you. So X's and O's wise, you gotta give yourself at least negate the advantage that they have by numbers. You know, you got to have good leverage on the ball. So.
With with the tackling, Coach Rule mentioned that as something he noticed that stood out on tape. I mean, what do you think went into that? Why did the guys tackle poorly?
Yeah, a combination of everything, right? A combination of maybe not working it as much in practice. Combination of being schematically in too many one-on-one tackles. You know what I mean? Like if I miss a tackle and I'm the only guy there, then those balls hit for bigger gains. But if there's 2 or 3 people around there, then chances are those are minimized. So again, it goes back to me schematically wise, making sure that there's wherever the ball's going, that there's multiple guys to tackle the ball. You know what I mean? Instead of one guy, it's easy to point out one guy when he misses a tackle, but it's hard when there's 3 and 4 guys. One guy misses, then the ball doesn't get out like that. So got to put more guys around the ball.
Is that part of what you mean when you're critical of yourself schematically?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Not right. Not right.
Thanks.
Hello.
Questions for Coach Satterfield?
Matt said yesterday he wanted guys, when they watch the film, to see how interrelated like everything was. Like, you know, missing a block on like a bubble screen and stuff like that. How do you see guys like respond to that and take it onto the practice field?
I thought that was exceptional. We watched the film as a whole team, you know, and Coach stood up there and went play by play and how things need to be done differently offensively, defensively for that side of the ball, but just so the defense could see what the offense was doing and what the opponent was doing to us to make us do certain things and vice versa. So I thought that was really good. Your second part of your question was?
Just how do you see guys take that to the field, I guess, so far?
I don't know if there was anything in that meeting they could take to the field from like other than just the energy and attitude and willingness to go out there and fix the issues, and they did that. Started yesterday. It was a real spirited practice.
What's Dylan's confidence level just after a game like that with the 3 interceptions?
Super confident. He's not swayed at all. Again, he understands he'd like to have some of those throws back, but it's coach just said it best. I mean, that's one day we got punched in the face. We don't just quit now. We keep fighting and we keep working. We're building something special here.
With the perimeter blocking, has it been something in practices you've seen that's been better and it just hasn't translated to the games, or how would you decide that?
We knew and know we have an issue that we have to continue to improve. we've attacked it. That's the bad stuff. The bad thing is being reactionary, which, I was reactionary to it. I saw it the whole time, and I needed to get out in front of it. But the last 2 weeks, we've been working extremely hard on it. I think, it's getting better and better and better. Hopefully, as we go through the season, it becomes a weapon for us.
You did go through the film and you saw routes developing and receivers getting out of their routes. What was preventing, do you think, in the second half when you had to drop back and throw a lot, your offense from being able to get downfield and make throws that weren't check downs most often?
Again, just the timing. There was a couple of them where there were receivers open, but Dylan had to move left and right, so he kind of got his eyes off of it. And by the time you get your eyes up, everything's moving really fast. He just checked it down. I'm extremely happy with the check downs for a young quarterback like that. But it was just timing. Sometimes your timing is off, and it just, between Dylan, the tight end, the running back, and the receivers, it just did not gel up, the way that we expected it to.
What's your level of concern right now with this far into the season with a run game that just really hasn't got on track? Your conventional run game, your running back run game.
Yeah, I think it's a lot on me. I have to commit to it. I think that I've gotten, we're really good getting the ball to Ja'Cory and the receivers and reverses and perimeter and all that stuff, which is weird because our perimeter blocking, but that's been one of our strong things this year is our perimeter runs. I've got to make sure I get in the mindset of you have to, in order to win in this league, establish the run game. And so, through the bye week and through this past week, I think that, we're going to work towards getting back to that for sure.
Is that a matter of patience? Is that what we're talking about?
I think just a matter of making sure that, I feel like we got the runs and the proper formations and personnel that we can hand the ball off and get 3 or 4 yards. Like, I don't want to, hand it off and, just be stupid and hard-headed and say, let's run at this big defensive line and get a yard just to say I ran the ball and it's 2nd and 9. So I just have to develop trust myself and make sure that I'm getting the proper plays called where we can attack the proper edges to fall for 4 or 5 yards. And then eventually, right, make a guy miss and go, have an explosive run.
Is there something unique to the Big Ten about establishing the run and the importance of doing it in this league?
I think so. Just, our weather's been really good so far. But I think as the year goes on, when you start playing those meaningful games in December, and it's cold and windy and rainy and snowy, I think you've got to be able to take a snap and hand the ball off, low degrees of difficulty. I think that's a huge part, and I think it's hard in this league because these defenses are really good and they're really coached up. The level of coaching in this league is very, very high.
You could probably highlight a bunch of things about this defense you're going to face, but what are a couple things that just jump to the front when you watched them?
They've got complex pressure schemes, they've got complex coverages, and they've got really good players. And so you throw those all into a hat. That's a pretty formidable opponent. I think the thing that they can do they've shown against everybody, they can rush 4, play coverage, and get to the quarterback, which is what we can't allow to happen. We got to make sure that we're, protecting the line of scrimmage and making sure that we're, helping out wherever we can and still being able to push the ball and get enough guys out to get open.
How tough is that move for Micah? You went guard to tackle, and how do you think he did for his first time?
He did good. He's a guard who was playing tackle, but just appreciative of his effort and mindset to go out there and try it. A lot of guys would be a little nervous to do that, and maybe they look bad and that they'd be embarrassed, but he didn't. He put it on for the team and went out there and fought.
How have your thoughts evolved through the season on the best way to use Harburg, whether it's run game or whatever it is?
I think that we can utilize, like you saw the other day. I think that's a scary way to use him because he turns into a screen game. You throw him in there, he's getting 8 to 10 yards every time that he runs a play. I think that just the awareness of him being on the field by the opponent and what he can do, whether it be run a route, run the ball, throw the ball, run the option, run the zone read. I think that helps us because you always, as an opponent, have to prepare for that. And, we've shown that basically every single game this year that, we always have packages and plays for him to go out there and execute.
You guys ramped up Ja'Cory Barney's reps this last week. Is that the new thought moving forward to get him more reps like we saw in the game last week?
For sure. He's one of the more explosive guys that we have on offense, and he's 18 years old and he's able to play 3 different positions and move around all over the field, and he does it without slowing down. So, we're going to put as much as we can without affecting how fast he can play.
Was that the most Carter Nelson played like regular offense reps as well?
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Is that a goal moving forward?
Yeah, trying to get him going, especially these games at the end of the year are going to be really important, and we need as much depth as possible. And then Carter, with his size and athleticism and explosiveness can help us do a bunch of different things on the field.
Marcus, as a play caller, what's that target number for yards per play that you would aim for? That's within reason.
That's a good play. Or it's between 4 and 6. I don't know I honestly don't even know what leads the country in yards per play. What would be a top yards per play?
You guys are at 5.5 right now. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it's a great question. You stopped me. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know what's leading the country, but I want it to be a little bit more than what it is now, for sure.
8.
Thanks.
It's all messed up, I'm sure.
Isaac, you've been around a lot of games at Nebraska. I mean, how do you come back from something like Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my first ass whooping. You only get one option, and that's to keep going, right? Keep fighting. Just go back to your process and keep going.
What did you see out of guys last couple days?
Say that again, sorry.
See out of the guys last couple days in response to
Yeah,
it?
guys are pissed off, We're not going to live on what happened on Saturday. We're going to keep moving forward, but guys are pissed.
Was there something Indiana did that got you guys off balance?
Yeah, they punched us in the mouth. They obviously wanted it more than we did.
So what's the importance of being focused even greater this week when you have an opponent like you do?
Yeah, I mean, our focus is going to be us. That's always going to be our focus. I think we got away from that a little bit last week, but our focus is going to be us and only us.
When you watch Ohio State, obviously they got a lot of weapons,
Yeah.
but what are a couple of the main things that stick out about trying to stop a group like that?
Yeah, you got to be physical from the jump, and like you said, when they got a lot of guys that can make plays, you just got to be sound in your technique and physical and playing fast. They're a great team, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play them.
You watched a lot of Will Howard even before he was at Ohio State. I mean, because obviously the Adrian connection.
Yeah. No, I watched him at K-State quite a bit. I watched Adrian a lot, so obviously saw him play a lot too.
What do you think of him and how they blended him into a Chip Kelly offense?
Yeah, he controls the game really well. He knows where to get that ball. He's got playmakers everywhere. He knows how to get it in their hands.
How much is it a mindset? I mean, they have guys that are going to play in the NFL, and you have guys that are going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Just like going out there with that competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it's football. It's 11 on 11, but it comes down to your winning your one-on-one, right? There's good players on each side of the ball, and I know we got them over here. So it really just comes down to competing and winning those one-on-ones.
Isaac, what's practice been like over the past couple of days in the wake of Saturday's game?
Yeah, like I said, it's getting back to us and what we do. A physical Tuesday practice.
What was the area when you look back on film that was most uncharacteristic?
Playing the run. I know our run defense hasn't been great this year, but it hasn't been like that, right? So obviously that's what stood out the most.
Just tackling or identifying?
Yeah, I think it's tackling is one of them, and then there's too many one-on-one tackles. That's not what we do here in Nebraska. We swarm the ball, and we didn't do that.
Anything else for Isaac?
Thanks, guys.
We'll go with questions whenever you're ready.
Marquise, how did you guys come back? Obviously, a game like that's not easy to come back from. What's been the response this week so far?
You know, obviously after a game like that, we have to go and evaluate ourselves like we do any other week. Watch the tape, be honest with ourselves, and, you know, take what happened last week to make ourselves better this week. It's really been our main focus.
What was the most frustrating thing that you saw on tape from Saturday?
Honestly, it just, for me, everything, you know, just, it didn't feel like, watching film, it didn't feel like our standard of play. And that was probably the most disappointing thing for us. But we're just, right now, focused on trying to make sure that it never happens again. And, you know, executing our jobs at a high level is mandatory for us to do.
What's the emotion that you felt or are feeling out of that?
I've personally I've flushed it. You know, it happened. Stuff like that happens. And, you know, there's nothing I can do to go back and change anything that happened. Only thing that I can do personally is, you know, as a leader on this team, make sure that every guy on this roster is ready for this upcoming game this week.
Coach Roll talked about 50-50 balls, and that was kind of an issue. How do you improve in that area and win some of those 50, especially like some of those early third downs? Or it was a third and long pass where you're in position, but you guys weren't able to get off the field in those spots.
Yeah. Practice habits have to carry over into the game. You know, our coaches say it best. It starts in drill work. Then from drill work, it goes into doing it on the field in practice, and then letting that carry over into the game. So just making sure that every day that we have an opportunity to go out and perfect our craft and to get better, that we do that.
How do you guys keep your heads and your focus in here in a week like this, you know, where there's probably a lot of opportunities for you younger guys on the team to hear negativity, to hear the noise outside? So what's being done to prevent that from impacting you?
Honestly, I feel like we run a pretty tight ship around here. As far as like our relationship with each other and like what we focus on a day-to-day basis, to us, nothing outside of this building matters. We do everything for each other. We do everything for our coaches. And, you know, those are the only opinions that anybody should ever on this team be worried about. Nobody that's outside criticizing is with us every day, how we're with each other every day, all day. So it's not really blocking it out more than it is, it doesn't even get to us, you know? We're just focused on being us and getting better for each other.
Will said there were times on Saturday where it felt like the team was playing not to lose instead of playing to win. What do you make of that?
I agree with him 100%. You know, it happened. And that's just another lesson that we can take away from this past weekend to make ourselves better for the rest of the games that we have this year.
Anything else from Marquise?
Thanks, Marquise.
Thank you, guys.
Questions?
Nash, how do you guys kind of move forward from this and focus on Ohio State now?
Obviously last week there's a lot to learn from, but we'll learn from it and we'll come back this week, get back to what we preach every week, tackling, getting to the football, just getting back to the basics of things, kind of resetting after last week and just moving on to this week.
You share, what have you seen from your teammates' ability to bounce back starting Sunday?
That's I think the guys are. They're going to bounce back fine. Everyone is. The mindset of the team is, it wasn't a lot of sad faces. It was, we took that one on the chin, but we're going to move on to this week. Continue to get better, just like we've been doing all season, and go out there and play the best football we can.
You've seen some good teams, but where's Ohio State stack up in terms of how they run the ball and just the weapons they have on offense?
Yeah, no, they're a really good team. Obviously, one of the top teams in the country, and we're excited for it. It's going to be a great challenge for us. Just with the weapons they have on offense and stuff, we can't wait. We're super excited to get out there and play against those guys.
What do you see from defensive teammates' confidence just overall in a game when things are going well, when things aren't going well? Like, where do you feel it's at?
Obviously when things are going well, confidence is super high. I think some of the other guys on the team do a good job of keeping people's confidence high when things aren't going well. And we're just going to continue to build that confidence and sustain that through the rest of the year.
What was a lesson learned from the defense? Talk about taking away lessons from last week.
It's just we didn't go out there and play how we wanted to. We had a great week of preparation. Things just didn't fall how we wanted to. They were making plays and we weren't. That's what it came down to. So just like I said, getting back to the basics, tackling and everything else this week, and just focusing on this week. Learning from that one, but focusing on this week.
A little different week this week with fall break. You guys spend more time around each other. Is that beneficial? Schedule a bit any different other than obviously not having class to go to?
It definitely helps. To have fall break right now, we get to spend more time as a group. Watching film is just a big group rather than a few guys watching it here because other guys are at class. So it's definitely beneficial just to have everyone in there watching film together. So yeah, it definitely helps.
Anything else from Nash?
How are you feeling after Saturday? It looked like you got beat up a little bit.
I'm feeling good. I'm ready to roll this week. I'm excited. Like I said, excited for the challenge of this week.
Did Indiana do something to kind of take you high out of it? Did they put more emphasis on you guys in that game? As far as how they defended?
You can say they did, but at the end of the day, me and Ty just weren't making plays like we should have been. And, that's something that him and I are just like everyone else. We're going to bounce back from it and get better this week.
All good.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Jamal, there's been a lot of talk about the perimeter blocking. I mean,
Yeah.
how much have you guys emphasized that, even more so this week and in the last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely emphasized, you know, throughout the team, throughout the room. You know, it's a mentality, and that's just something that we've honed in on and just continue to work and rep every day.
Has it been at, I mean, has it been at the standard? And if not, how do you, I mean, what do you guys need to do to get it to that standard?
As far as today, it's been a lot of progress and just repetition and, you know, to get the guys out there who willing to do it.
What goes into that? Is it angles? Is it firing off the ball at the right time? I mean, what are you really focusing on there?
Yeah, there's angles, techniques, play call, depending on, you know, leverage. But at the end of the day, it's a mentality. You just gotta want to do it.
How much different is it from what you've done in your career up till this year as a receiver? What you guys are asking you on the edge?
Yeah, it's not too much different. I mean, the offensive at my previous school was a little different as far as just scheme. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, your guy can't make the play, can't make the tackle, and so that's all it is.
What have you seen from the bounce back ability? Like what have you done as an older guy on the team, a leader on the team, to make sure that guys' heads are in the right places?
Just focus on this week, focus on the day, focus on the rep. Like, I mean, you know, letting go of what happened, just learning from it, and just coming to attack, you know, the film room, attack meetings, attack, you know, practice, and, you know, the scheme. So.
Do you think it helps at all to have an opponent this week that is going to immediately get your attention?
I think it's always been about us, you know, and so anytime you responding to something, you're gonna respond with the intent to grow, and so, you know, that's what we're doing this week.
Is that a lesson that you learned in your career? Like when you were a freshman or sophomore, would a loss like that stick in a different way maybe than it does now that you're a senior?
I don't know if I ever lost like that, but like, yeah, anytime, you know, yeah, I don't think that the scale of the loss really matters. It's the fact that we didn't play to our standard. We didn't execute. We weren't the most physical team, and that's what you respond to. You respond to raising your own standard. And so I don't think it's about the other teams. I think it's just about us and, you know, us looking in the mirror.
What have you seen in Wiles there? They play a lot more man zone. And a look at
it's mixed up, man and zone. You know, we've been, like I said, working on a lot of perimeter blocking, and, you know, they got some good guys in the secondary, and we just gonna attack it.
You mentioned that you guys watched some of the film together as a team. Was that a little different in how you did it compared to past weeks, or no?
You said as with who with the team?
Did you have something different where you watched the film together, the whole team, or was that different in the past, or?
Yeah, so as a whole team, as far as like after the game or like leading up to the game. Yeah, kind of. I think every week we usually like go over some corrections and things we did well, things we, you know, that were left out there. But nah, I think it was the same.
You see guys see how like everything was like Coach Rule talked about how it's interrelated. Like this one thing sets off another thing on a play. Did you get? Was there a good understanding you felt of that as you guys were kind of watching it through again?
Yeah, no doubt. Lack of complementary football. Just one thing leads to another. Snowballing, and yeah, it just shows you, you know, how important it is for everybody on the field to be doing their job.
Anything else for Jamal?
Jamal, yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Questions?
Dylan, how familiar are you with Ohio State? Obviously, you've been out there many times for games and you were once committed to them. I mean, is this a team that you know a lot of the players on the roster already?
Yeah, I know a lot of them, just through the recruiting and everything. But it's a cool place. Never played there. Always grew up wanting to play there. So opportunities here.
How many games did you make it to, would you say, when you were committed to them?
I went to 3. Yes, sir.
When you watch the film back from that game, just what stood out to you about maybe things you'd like to improve, do differently?
Yeah, it's just little things here and there that kind of get you in the big games. So I think just cleaning up the little things, and we have another opportunity this week to improve and go 1-0.
Dylan, a lot of the guys on the roster, Jamal just said it, and he's a senior, haven't been a part of a game like that. First, I assume you haven't, and have you? And what is that? How does that impact the difficulty in getting right back into the right focus, the right mindset?
Yeah, I don't think it's difficult. It's not like it's our last game of the season. We got punched in the mouth, and it's as simple as that. Address the issues, fix them, and then move on. But yeah, it stung for the weekend, and it felt good to get back out there yesterday and kind of clean the things up you messed up and move on to our next opponent.
What was the value maybe in the second half of staying in and continuing to be aggressive even when the score kind of got lopsided?
Yeah, I think just competing, kind of showing our team that this is the culture we're building here, and I think it was valuable reps for me and some of the other guys, and yeah, it was important we competed to the end because that's what we do here.
What do you think has to happen for this offense to get more, get downfield more in the passing game?
Yeah, it starts with me and kind of directing things, and it's a good challenge, and look forward to accepting it. And our guys can run, and I just have to do better at getting the ball down the field to them and allowing them to go make plays and showcase their ability. So I'll take that one. That'll be on me.
You're able to get Pedoni going a little bit in that game. Is that something you feel like you can build on going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a big weapon. He's very talented, and to have a guy stress the middle of the field and kind of do things on the perimeter, I don't think a lot of people can, and I'm excited to get him going.
What's your regardless of the moment coming off of a loss, like what kind of excitement level do you have about facing a great defense? Whether it's now or whenever.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. Kind of show that we can hang and we can play, and I don't think there's any other way to put it. We're just going to play football, and regardless of the opponent we play or where we play, it's our brand, and we're going to stand by that.
Dylan, back when you committed to Ohio State, what originally drew you to the program?
Yeah, I respect their program and what Coach Day did, and still do. I'm happy where I'm at today, and it'll be fun to go back and kind of be on the other side, if you want to say, and see some guys after the game, and it'll be a cool atmosphere to go into.
Anything else for Dylan? All right, appreciate it.